Leorio's max potential is way more broken than people realize. What if Leorio reached his absolute max potential? Most people look at Leorio and think he is the weakest member of the main four. Gon has insane growth. Killua has assassin talent. Kurapika has one of the most dangerous Nen abilities in the series. And then there's Leorio, a loud guy in a suit who wants to become a doctor. But that's exactly why his max potential is so interesting. Because Leorio was never meant to be another Gon. He was never meant to be another Killua. Leorio's true potential is not just fighting. It is using Nen to save lives, break distance, control space, and hit enemies from places they cannot even see. Why people underrate Leorio. Leorio is easy to underestimate because he does not act like a typical anime powerhouse. He is not calm and mysterious. He is not a natural-born monster. He is not constantly training to become the strongest. But that does not mean he has no potential. Leorio's goal was always different. He wanted to become a doctor. He wanted money, not because he was greedy, but because he knew how unfair the world was to people who could not afford treatment. That means Leorio's Nen would naturally develop around one thing: helping people. But in Hunter x Hunter, support abilities can become terrifying when they are pushed to their limit. Leorio's Nen type. Leorio is an emitter, and at first that sounds simple. Emitters are good at separating aura from their body and sending it outward. Most people imagine that as energy blasts, projectiles, or ranged attacks. But Leorio's version is different. His ability lets him punch through distance. Instead of needing to physically reach the target, his aura travels through space and lands the hit from another location. That already makes his technique extremely useful. But the scary part is this: Leorio did not create that ability just to fight. He created it with medicine in mind. The medical potential. At max potential, Leorio could become one of the most valuable Nen users in the entire Hunter world. Imagine a doctor who can send aura through a patient's body without making a physical cut. He could inspect organs, detect injuries, perform remote pressure, stimulate damaged areas, stop internal bleeding, and possibly assist surgery from a distance using precise emitted aura. That means Leorio's ability could evolve into a medical Nen system, not just a punch, a full remote surgery technique. And if he mastered aura control, he could become a doctor who treats injuries that normal doctors could never reach. Combat potential. But now let's talk about combat, because Leorio's ability would still be dangerous in a fight. At basic level, he can land surprise punches from a distance. But at max potential, he could attack from underneath the ground, from behind walls, from blind spots, from the opponent's own shadow. He could create multiple aura impact points around the battlefield and force the enemy to defend from every direction. Imagine fighting someone who does not need to stand in front of you to hit you. You block his right hand, but the punch comes from below. You dodge backward, but the hit appears behind you. You try to rush him, but the ground itself becomes dangerous. That is where max potential Leorio becomes scary. Battlefield doctor style. Leorio would not fight like Gon. He would not fight like Killua. He would fight like a battlefield doctor, someone who understands the human body better than most fighters. He would know where to strike, where to disable movement, where to hit nerves, where to stop someone without killing them. That means his fighting style would be precise, annoying, and extremely hard to predict. He would not need the biggest aura output. He would need accuracy, because a perfectly placed Nen strike to the right part of the body could end a fight faster than a massive attack. Evolved Nen abilities. At max potential, Leorio could develop multiple versions of his ability. First, a remote punch for combat. Second, a diagnostic pulse that scans the body with aura. Third, a pressure point strike that disables enemies without killing them. Fourth, a surgical aura technique for healing and treatment. And fifth, an emergency life support technique that keeps someone alive long enough to reach real treatment. This would make Leorio one of the best support hunters alive. Not because he destroys everyone, but because he keeps everyone else alive. Why this is actually broken. In a world like Hunter x Hunter, people focus too much on power, but survival is power. Healing is power, information is power, and being able to attack through distance while also understanding the body is extremely dangerous. A max potential Leorio could save allies during a mission, disable enemies without getting close, heal people in situations where normal,